what's fun is that this is like, best way I can describe it is like, these are all songs are acting exercise. There's a moment of truth that you have to find in any song, and you have to, it's cliche, but you got to find your motivation in order to get there.
Scope Magazine welcomes in Corey Glover of Sonic Universe. How you doing, man?
What's going on, boss?
Long time no see.
I know. Omar!
Omar coming!
Omar coming! That's the intro to your show? Omar coming!
Maybe it will be now. I gotta cut this for later.
That's right.
So, Sonic Universe.
Yeah.
How did this thing get started? Because I remember seeing you and Mike once at one of the very first DLV shows.
Yeah. It started on Shiprock, actually. Like, I saw him on Shiprock, and I was like, yo, who is that? And we struck up a conversation, got friends. Smitty hooked it up. For those of you who are not familiar with Smitty, Smitty knows everybody. He probably knows you. You're probably one of friends of Smitty's.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't meet Smitty until your show.
Everybody's a friend of Smitty's. Smitty know everybody. With a name like Smitty, well, of course he knows everybody. Everybody knows a Smitty.
That's true. I know too.
Exactly.
So Shiprock, huh?
Yeah, so I was on Shiprock. I was a stowaway, and I was, we struck up a conversation. We had a friendly conversation. He was like, come by the studio, see what we can do. I was like, cool. So I went to his spot in Staten Island, and we sat down and we started writing. And, it started to get good, and we just kept going.
Was it something like you and him did all the writing, or was Talk and Booker involved in that process?
It was just me and him, basically.
Like songs like My Desire, I like how like it had like a really funky switch up in the middle. Like it starts like it sounds like one song, then it just switches like midway.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had no idea. Like we had gotten the first part down, and we were like, okay, I don't know what to do next. And Orlando said, okay, I got this part. I don't know if it's gonna work, but let's see what happens. This prog thing, I was like, for real? Seriously? All right, fuck it, let's go. And it worked.
Yeah, like with this project is like your umpteenth other project or band that you're involved in. Like what for you keeps it fresh, and like it does sound different, and it does have a very bright sound musically versus like DLV or Living Color. It's a very like, it feels very uplifting, if that's the right word for it. And it feels like a good song, like since you're in a car. It's a very good driving record. It feels like you just be driving down the highway on a road trip or something. It's like perfect music for that.
Right, and you feel good while you're listening to it. There's some songs that's got some little that has a few lower register sort of things, but that's all right too. But higher is sort of like you drive real fast on higher. You know what I mean?
How long did it take for the whole thing to be written?
We started in like 2019, and then the pandemic hit. So a year and a half off from there, and then we finished it up basically in 2022.
Well, that's kind of good, because that extra time, I guess it is your first thing. It's always like, oh, you always have you forever to write your first record, and then like everything else. So I guess it kind of gave you that time. You guys didn't have to rush it.
Exactly. So we had a good time. I mean, and hats off to Orlando. He was like engineered, produced, arranged, mixed, mastered, the whole nine. It's him. That's his baby, basically. And bringing Taekwon and fucking Booker in was sort of like a no-brainer. You know what Taekwon can do.
Yeah.
And and Booker's been around forever, and he plays with everybody. He knows
Santana.
Exactly. He knows the running. You know what I mean? So whatever you throw at him, it's not going to be a problem.
It's funny, like, which one was it? Whisper to a Scream. Like, to me, that song, like, that's probably like my favorite song on the record. And it felt like it's just a jam that turned into a song.
Yeah.
The way the bass and him, the way they're just kind of just vibing at the beginning of it before you come in. It's like, you don't even really need to be on this song. This is just nice musically.
This is just some progressive jazz tune that they had. All of a sudden, somebody starts screaming
with something like this, because it's not full on prog. It's a very hard rock record. It's it's a nice like in the middle of it all. Like, how do you like approach like doing your vocals and like your melodies? How do you find your space in this kind of project?
that was the most difficult part of making this record, was finding my space, and again, I tip my hat to Mike Orlando. Quiet as it's kept, I have a problem. My biggest problem is finding melodies in more intricate pieces. I approach it like, for lack of a better term, like a jazz singer. Like I'm trying to find where I can fit myself in the chord, and this is off of that. So Orlando actually helped me out with that. Helped me find some of these melodies.
Yeah, because he was doing a couple of backing vocals too. So like you guys sound very nice together.
Yeah. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, like I was very impressed because he didn't overplay. It was it's his project too, but he didn't like, okay, it's like, it wasn't like Mike Orlando and Friends. It was like, okay, it's like his showmanship didn't overshadow any of the songs. Not
at all, and any of the playing, because like you said, like Whisper to a Scream, it's like everybody gets a shine on that. You know what I mean? Between him and Booker and him and Tate, like everybody got some burn. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, man, you do have a lot of. There's so much falsetto on this record. I love it. It's like I'm just waiting for you to I expect your next thing to be your power metal record.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't have a lung capacity for that one.
So with this project, I'm sure at some point there's going to probably be some touring maybe this year, and between this and DLV's got a record in the works, and Living Color's got a record in the works, and I don't know what else you got going on, your solo stuff. How do you find balance for all this stuff?
I just, I like to work. I really do. Because my kids like to eat, so I'm trying to figure out that balance as we speak. Like I just got off the road a couple of days ago and was on the road for 2 months. We ain't been on the road. Living Color hasn't been on the road that long in a very long time, and I was exhausted. I was worn out. But I came home and had a gig at the bitter end, I'm sorry, and then I had another gig up here at the Falcon, and I got some time off before we go back in the studio, so I'm going to enjoy my time off.
Is it just basically just like get these interviews out the way, then you just shut up for a couple days?
Absolutely. You're my last one for the day, and then I'm going to shut the fuck up.
So what now, since you do all the writing of the lyrics, do you think, this works for this project, or like, no, this song, these lyrics will work better with this, or do you just write more fresh in the moment, trying to figure it all out?
Yeah, I write as the song progresses, and if I have something written down that I had an idea that sort of works with it, I'll do it. But for the most part, it's where it's as it happens, as the music hits me, and what I'm feeling when it hits me.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I do appreciate that. Like it does sonically, it's just different. Besides the tuning stuff, it just has a different feel than the other project. It's not like, it's just you with different friends playing in a different project at the same thing.
Right. No. This was more about, and this was a little more emotional, I think, than anything else. It's along the same lines as that Ultraphonics record, like the Ultraphonics record was about my marriage breaking up, really. And this is sort of this record is sort of the aftermath of that.
Okay. All right. I get it with Higher. Kind of,
Right.
There is some, like even back to some of the lyrics on like Whisper,
Yeah,
you could kind of hear it there. And I forgot which one later on, but the lyrics are like, nothing's impossible when you got nothing to lose. Like that. I really like that. That's very true. Because I feel like that's how you approach all these projects. Like, I don't think you're phoning anything in. It just seems, but it just comes off like everything's genuine, and you're like, hey, you give every project the same like dedication that it should have. Unfortunately, there's only one of you. You don't have time to do all three concurrently.
I can't say no, not in the fucking least. But what's fun is that this is like, best way I can describe it is like, these are all songs are acting exercise, because there's a moment of truth that you have to find in any song, and you have to, it's cliche, but you got to find your motivation in order to get there.
Yeah, and you happen to have to like learn hundreds of songs at this point. There's probably 1,000 of songs in your head, so no shade to you. It's like you do very well with your
my iPad is always around. My iPad with the teleprompter on it is always around. I got no shame in my game.
Yeah, because you're like you could be in one project today, then you're doing another one tomorrow, and it's like, oh crap, what song is?
Yeah, exactly. Or I could be doing some like jazz standards or whatever the fuck it is I'm doing. I got a lot of work. I got a lot of jobs. I got a lot of jobs.
Yeah, you've done, you've done a lot of you've done a lot of diverse projects. Are there certain genres that you haven't hit yet that you would like to do?
Like you said, that metal shit. I have not really. I've sort of danced around it, and to really make that ridiculously like that rare groove funk record. Those are two things I'd like to do at some point.
Now, you mentioned like you talk about like the lyrics and like thinking it like acting.
Mm.
When will we be returning to like a stage anytime soon or see you in front of a camera? It's been a while since we've seen you in acting in anything lately.
That's true. I got some things that hopefully will pan out. But if anybody listening to this got a job for me, just let me know. I'll do anything but OnlyFans.
I think you would be good in. I've seen Sweeney Todd a few times. I think you could pull that off.
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and there's only been like one other Broadway actor who was of color that was Sweeney Todd, and I think we could use another one.
Yeah, and The Wiz is on Broadway right now.
Yeah.
Wayne Brady wants to take a break. Give me a call.
Oh, he's on that one now. All right, cool. Yeah, it's on the list of things to watch. So let's see what else I got here for you. Well, man, thank you again for taking the time to do this, man. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. For you? Come on, man.
God, I tried to downplay that part, but I appreciate you though. Thank you, man. Let's see. Let me talk about the videos. Yeah, cool.
Oh.
So far, we've got 2 videos out. They're awesome videos, man. And just recently, Hired just dropped. I did not catch it, but who directed it and what made you? They're just really good-looking videos.
God damn it! I cannot think of the dude's name. Tony? Oh God, he's out in Tom's River. God, I can't think of his name. But he's been doing a bunch of stuff. We sat there and I think we shot like 3 different videos all in one day. I Am, Higher, and one other one. I think Beautiful Disunity, all in the same day.
I just learned that like when you have the spot, shoot a couple videos all in the same day. Like don't waste a day or do it one at a time. If you have the space to do it, it's smart.
It's not like back in the day when you had all the time in the world and every other studio was ready to go, had the green screen up and the whole 9. Now you just get it done while you can get it done.
Yeah, I get that, man. So now, like, since you've been around for a minute in this lovely music scene, do you think like the way you record vocals now versus how you recorded vocals back then is for you an improvement or not so much?
Nothing's really changed in terms of that. You stand in front of a microphone, you put out whatever you put out. What goes where that microphone is plugged into is what's changed. So I'm always going to be singing whatever it is I'm going to sing, and I'm always going to try to make it as real as I possibly can. And hopefully the technology and the equipment sophisticated enough and fine-tuned enough to catch that. And that's the only thing that's really changed since back in the day. Although there was nothing wrong with the stuff that from back in the day. That all that shit was like clear and great. Analog has always been key. I love analog. Can't fuck with it, but you can get really close now, and as long as I'm in a good place, it's good. Traveling, touring, much better now. Buses are much better. Wi-Fi on the bus, and you can watch TV. You can chill. Everything. That's gotten better. Back in the day, when you're on those cold ass buses, it was not cool. Or you were traveling in one of them church vans like we did with DOV or whatever. It's much better nowadays.
Yeah, that ride, that one stop from Massachusetts to Michigan, that was brutal.
Michigan. No, what was the one that we drove all the way to Illinois? That one was.
Yeah, I think that was the first stop. Oh, yeah, Illinois was the 3rd or 4th one on that trip. I haven't been that cold in a vehicle in a long time.
Hell yeah! Everybody's coat was trying hard. Oh my God, it was cold.
I was like, yeah. I still haven't gone to the vault ever since then. I was like, nah, I'm good. It triggers me.
I hear that. I hear that.
Now, like, let's see. Now, yeah, you've done like so many different like projects. Like not recently, I guess, right before the pandemic, the one I unfortunately missed because the world said no, was
No.
you were doing the Bowie tribute. Will that
Right.
will that make a return at some point, or was that just that time and done?
I don't know. And we were in the middle of touring when that Bowie thing went tits up. Like we were on our way into Canada, and they were like, "Nope, go home." So I'd love to go back to that. That was fun. That was a blast. And the folks in that band were just ridiculous. Everybody, fucking Earl Slick, all that was just amazing.
And you've played with hundreds of at this point you've played with hundreds of different musicians and different styles. And it's like, I like that you should have an ego of like a maniac, but you don't. And it's like you'll play like some big old arena shows, and then you'll play you play a variety of places, and I've seen you play, and it's like I think that's kind of cool that you just like, hey, the music's here, people want to see it. Of course, everybody's like, living color this, living color that. I'm like, no, this is something different. That's still around, right. But enjoy another side of me.
I don't mind playing dive bars as long as they treat you nice. That's all you need. That's all that's important. You know what I mean?
Let's see. All right, before we get ready to wrap it up, so what do we have to look forward to for you for the rest of this year? This record comes out in May.
Right, comes out May 10th, and Living Color's going in the studio next week, and then we do some spot dates in May, then we go back out and do some festival dates in June. July we go to Europe. August we do some more spot dates. In September we go back out with Extreme in Canada and parts of the States. Then October we go to South America, and then hopefully I can do some Sonic Universe stuff.
It's all in scheduling.
It is. And as long as you keep me busy, I'm good.
Yeah, and DOV as album number 2 is in the works.
It's in the works. I think it's supposed to come out pretty soon as well. So.
Oh, good. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you guys recorded that the other year.
Yeah. It's always something.
Yeah, like I appreciate you, dude. It's like I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for this.
Always. For you, always.
I appreciate it, man. Now, one last question before we get out of here. You're a man of 1,000 outfits.
Uh-huh.
What was your favorite and least favorite outfit?
My favorite and least favorite. My favorite was I had this red suit I wore on the Bowie tour that I loved. It was pretty nice. And the least favorite is this black and white joint in the Type video that was left nothing to the imagination. I did not like that suit. It's always
I was like, I think that's also part of your character as well, man. It's like, all right, what's he gonna pull out today? It's like, all right.
It could be anything. It could be a wetsuit. It could be a kilt. You never know.
No, with you, man. Dude, Corey Glover, man, like the legend. I know it's overused terms, but you've been around a long motherfucking time. And I remember the first time when I was a young wee lad and I saw you on SNL, and I was like, holy hell, you and the band. I was like, this is a bunch of black guys that look like me, a bunch of dudes that look like me, like playing like hard rock music. Yeah, it meant a lot to a little, like, a little kid, man. I appreciate you. Well, not that much younger,
anytime,
but yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, I was like 15 or 16 when that happened, bro. But yeah, you're the man, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. You've been a help for a very long time, bro.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man.
No doubt. I'll talk to you soon, bro.